You're listening to Productivity Monsters in the Morning. We are the energy vault your real estate business needs to get you up and out and excited and productive for the day. We go over trending topics and things that really matter in the market of the moment. Here are your hosts, Tiffany Hampton and Brooke Silva.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is me this morning. The sun is actually out and I'm trying to dodge it. So if you see me,
I had to switch I get afternoon sun that literally
Yep.
makes, it's so much fun. But okay,
hopefully
I want sun.
I do too, but not when it's like blinding me and I'm trying. And I probably, this is my fear. This is my, this is my ridiculous fear, is that it's going to bounce off my glasses, the heat, and melt my screen.
Oh, stop it.
I know I'm smart enough to know that, but in my head, I see like a cartoon of like, when they use the magnifying glass or the mirror and it bounces light. That's my unreasonable fear.
Yeah. You are ridiculous, and that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So we are post-COVID pandemic mindset. We'll say 2 years. Like COVID's still out there, and yet it's part of our normal life these days, right?
It is.
And I feel like energy's changing and people are getting back into, okay, I can live again. Like, I feel like there was some freeze moments where people just froze.
Well, yeah, I called it COVID TSD for a while. It was, you were, right? You were so scared, especially through the winter when all kids are disgusting. Being in places is disgusting. Everybody gets sick, but these are normal things. And instead of us, we still have that. Is it COVID?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. And COVID is now like the flu, quote unquote, quote unquote.
Right.
So we need to really focus on getting our lives back to where we want it to be.
We do. And, I lived in a different world during COVID because I'm in a medical based family, right? My husband was out in the field doing things. So in the beginning, we had to do certain things. But then we became really practical about it, probably way earlier than most people did. I still went to the office every day when it was allowed. Masked up, and I was in my space.
Yeah. I'm stubborn. Like, tell me not to do something and I do the opposite. So Chris and I, we were at the office every day. Number one, completely opposite of today, where all I want to do is work from home.
Yeah.
Back then I was like, you can't tell me to work from home.
It's funny too, because I was so afraid of, well, we've said it a million times, I get my energy from people.
Yeah.
And I was petrified to lose that over Zoom. So I thought it was really important that the agents I was supporting in the market center saw me in the market center still working so hard for them, even though they weren't meeting with me. And I never put my life on hold. Were we safe? Absolutely. I still traveled. I still did things. I still enjoyed takeout from restaurants. We still went to parks. We still went to zoos. We just had to change how we did things and how we tested for things after we did some travel. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with testing after travel still.
Yeah. Well, I went to Myrtle Beach in the middle of COVID, and it was the most wonderful thing because it was so quiet.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach is fun anyway. So people tell me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's even better when there's like half the amount of humans. You know me.
I know. You just want to introvert with nobody.
Yeah,
Your
true.
maybe your kids, maybe your
And now
grandkids.
my kids, yes. I mean, we went and we got, it was a great time, and it was quiet, and we got all the shark teeth, so it was a beautiful thing.
The other thing is we're seeing people. I gotta tell you, when I walk into a market center and there's people in there, not just the leadership crew, and you hear the calls, and there's classrooms full, there's people in conference rooms. I went to a market center last week to meet with a couple of agents and not even have a class, and the buzz and the energy was incredible. Even almost all, they have this area that you can just jump in for the day. You can rent a space, or there's open like cubicles
Yeah.
you can work from. They were all full.
Yeah.
They were all full, and people were calling, and there was laughter, and I was like, we're back. I said it out loud. I looked around and I was talking to no one, and I went, we're back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I taught in Connecticut 2 weeks ago, and at this point, and we had so many people and the energy. And here's the deal. Specifically in our market, we're a people industry,
Mm-hmm.
and regardless of whether you're an introvert, extrovert, or you like people, don't like people, whatever, we're in a people industry. So you have to people.
You do.
There's only so much peopling you could do on Zoom.
And I know there are people, and it is a very low percentage of people that can stay energized at home. I've met maybe 5 people total, but they still say they have to get out to the market center. They do book a day during the week where they go in and work. And while they may not be as productive as they are in their space, they require the energy in the office. And here's the other thing. There are people going into the office, and it may be new people that you've never met before.
Right.
And you're missing out on the opportunities and the chances provided to you by not having FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I talked about FaceTime at a high level in a class I did in Westboro. You know my feelings about not going through the drive up and walking into places, or not doing site to store pickup and actually having your face visible. And we need to do that in our own business. I had an agent say to me, well, I can never pick up the open houses that people post. I'm never able to get the coverage. And I said, when was the last time you went to an in-person meeting? And they said, I've never gone. I said, okay, when was the last time you went to an in-person class? Well, I've never gone. I said, okay, so who's getting it? And
The
they
people
went, probably the agents who are showing up. I said, and it
and
has
building
nothing.
relationships.
That's what it is. I've got to, like, if I were to give out one of my husband's open houses, I have to know that you're going to do right by the home, that you're going to do right by the people who are walking in the door, and you're going to do your due diligence and follow up and make the open house spectacular, or whatever task that I'm trusting you with or leveraging you for. I'm not going to get that by a Zoom screen. Matt Erdman says it all the time, and it's a weird term, and it took me years to get good with this term, but we are a belly to belly business. I'm not saying you walk up to people and rub Eskimo noses and really bounce off their bellies, but there's magic when you're in person and you can see people's faces and tones and energy and get a feel for who they are.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. So we were talking about moving fast or moving slow, moving with information or moving with no information. And both are right. Like, whether you're moving fast or moving slow, you're right. Whether you're moving with information or no information, you're right. It's just, are you in the right situation for that?
And perfection paralysis is a real thing in our world, in any world. I talk about this. I have a women's networking group I'm a part of, and it is a hot topic. 2 things that are always part of weekly posts is there's somebody talking about perfection paralysis, and there's somebody who's always talking about imposter syndrome at any level of their business. And I find that fascinating that those 2 topics, and they might not say it exactly, but people talk about it. And it's funny, when I get to know these people, they are my high D personalities, right? Like they're those engineer brains where they have to pick everything apart before they can deploy, and then they get aggravated because they've missed out on opportunities.
Right.
Because of the need to overanalyze and make sure they know every in and out. Yesterday, my students asked me for dialogues. Well, what do you say when you walk in? And I said, well, where are you? Who are you? Do you ever frequent this place? Like, if you're trying to make a relationship with someone in a building that's a local business owner, I can't give you what to say or how to start the conversation. It's hello.
Yeah.
Smile. Frequent it a few times if you're not comfortable. See if the same people are working. And it was so great because our OP in that office said to me and said to everyone in the room yesterday, I traced my business success back to one person. That one person took a chance on me as a newer agent and then because they were so happy, referred me to 4 other people. She went to a restaurant and it was a server, and then that server referred them to 4 other servers. Those 4 other servers referred to 4 people, and within 1 year, she had 38 transactions from she could trace back to
Start of
one
one person.
person
Yep.
because she frequented it. And the other thing because she was a frequent flyer at this restaurant, which many agents went to, they felt like they had a relationship with her. When she would have to make a call or pick up or help like negotiate a deal, she stepped out of the restaurant and into a hallway where she wasn't bothering other people or restaurant people, whereas other people would do these things at the table. And they saw the level of respect she had for the servers and a level of respect she had for the people who were dining there. And they became friends with her and loved her and trusted her in an area that was saturated. 38 deal, I believe it was 38 deals tied back to one person.
Yep.
All because she built relationships.
And respected them.
And she respected the people and was always kind. She is one of the kindest hearted people I've ever met anyway. She may be a bulldog in this world, but she's got a heart of solid gold.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like you need to, you really need to be both. You have to be a bulldog
Yes.
in a respectful way.
But everybody loves bulldogs.
Mhm.
Everybody walks up to them because they're the cutest things on the planet too, even though they look tough and mean and rough.
Well, yeah. So Tuesday night, I don't really talk about my world, and I know I'm supposed to, because that's how you connect with other people. However, so Tuesday night, I was telling a story, and because those stories that we tell, that's where people really get to know you and really want to work with you. So to your point of what do I say? Not every relationship, not every person, not every conversation is the same. So there are get rid of the word script. There are no scripts.
There are none.
Like on my calls, I talk all the time. If you're going to call an expired, you literally see, hey, I see your property's no longer on the MLS. What happened?
That is,
and let's talk.
And I don't love the scripts are so old. Scripts are like 80s, 90s.
Well, scripts should be gone.
Scripts should be gone in general. There's education and there's knowledge, but there's no way we can give you the absolute thing that allows you to have the perfect thing to say at every time. You have to make mistakes. You have to feel uncomfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone and get yourself to a place where you just do the thing. Rip the Band-Aid off. Do the thing. And then when you do the thing, it gets easier and easier.
I had someone tell me on Tuesday's call, he gets in a negative headspace when he gets yelled at, hung up on, told no too many times.
We laugh.
When they hang up on me, I literally call them back and say, I'm so sorry, we must have gotten disconnected. Anyway, the reason for my call is X, Y, and Z. But it's taken years for me to be that confident too, right? So, but I told them, I was like, the first person you call needs to be your best friend, and the last person you call needs to be your best friend, and best friend person that's going to pour into you.
Right. One of the other things we really talked about yesterday too was cheerleaders, because those are also your clients. Yep. There are people in your world who love you, trust you. They don't know how to support you. And when you turn them into your champions and your cheerleaders, and they feel like they have a role in your world and your business, one of the things we talked about were, there was this negative energy. Well, they never give me referrals. And I asked the question, I said, have you ever explained why they're important to your business, or how to give them to you, or what to listen for? And the answer is always no. I said, okay, so I said, are our lenders really good at asking for referrals? Yes. Our closing attorneys? Yes. Our title people? Yes. But we don't teach the people around us how to support us in business.
We don't want to be salespeople.
Exactly. Exactly. So be good people. Be community ambassadors. I'm not saying you have to have statues erected in your honor, but there's so much good we do. We have hyper local communities within our own communities, and then they can go even more granular. Your neighborhoods, the places you frequent. You and I could live in the same town and never go to the same places all the time. Maybe we go to the same sushi restaurant now and then, but your community at the sushi restaurant could be very different than mine. We have to remove this limiting belief that other realtors or associates are doing this,
Mhm.
because it will always be your community.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. I don't think anything more needs to be said.
All right, friends, go out and be great
It's
to
an
your
amazing
community.
day. Yeah, absolutely.